What's up, good people? Yeah, I know, going back in history, the United States government tries things in DC first, right? Some things. It seems like DC is becoming a testing ground for the nation to see, maybe even the world, depending on who's tapping in. But I ain't gonna be here that long, so hopefully some of my people will tap in and see it after I'm gone, after I end the live. But I'm making this live for all of my Chicago supporters. Shout out to Hoover and all the people up there in Chicago. Rick, what's up, homeboy? Shout out to Minnesota Avenue. But anyway, for anybody from Chicago that's a street person or like from the subculture, the regular people in Chicago, from me to you, I don't even advise y'all to be too worried about this, because a lot of this stuff to me is a photo op. And what I mean by that is that people been getting pulled over and this and that, but if your license and your registration right, you good. If you on the streets, you supposed to know how to navigate already. It's not like they gonna be coming up in there kicking in people's doors unless something already going on. But the National Guards is smiling and taking pictures with people, shaking hands and talking about their lives. It's not what they making it out to be. And all that stuff you see on the news with them just standing around, I don't know all the Chicago hoods. I'm not gonna act like I do. But I'm telling you this, just warning you. This takeover thing that they doing, in my opinion, from being a DC resident to move around out here, is really about immigration, right? So people up there, they say that they got a lot of people in the Chicago area, the metro area, outside of Chicago as well. They, they might not be all the way. They might be undocumented. Let's just use the word they using. Let's just use the words they using. They using this word undocumented. So the people might end up being undocumented. You dig it? And they gonna blitz for that. The people that they gonna catch in these snares, these crime snares, they gonna be the same type of people that get arrested. For an example, they keep using this high stat now. 680, maybe 700 arrests here in Washington, D.C., right? The Metropolitan Police make that many, that's our local police, they make that many arrests anyway. They said they took, I don't want to quote the incorrect number, but they said they took a specific number of guns off the streets. Metropolitan Police take about 30, 40 guns off the streets every week here. That's not new. So what I'm saying to Chicago is that they not gonna come over there. The Trump administration is not gonna take over the Chicago Police Department because that's not in the rules. But it is, I don't have my notes with me, but it is some federal ways that they can send the National Guard there like they just did in Los Angeles. The National Guard ain't gonna do nothing but post up and shake hands and take pictures. Now, as far as, I'm not the type of person that's gonna sit around and say, no killings in 8 or 9 days is a bad thing. That's a great thing here. There's no killings in 8 or 9 days. Now, is that because of the police presence, the federal police presence or not? I'm not a criminologist, if I said that word correctly, right? But I am a journalist, and there has been 9-day stretches and 16-day stretches here in DC without killings. Is that something to be proud of? Is that a great stat that I'm proud of? Being a DC native and a DC resident? Nah, that's not my point. But as a journalist, I'm telling the people that's paying attention to me that no killings in 7 days has happened here before. Also, DC, as far as dangerous cities, according to a poll that I seen on CNN, as far as dangerous cities, it's like number 17 right now. Memphis was something like number 1 or number 2. There are other cities that are not even in the equation that he's not mentioning. So, like, you got to ask yourself as a conscious person, What is it about? I'm telling you from my personal experience, not just as a journalist, a YouTuber, but as a DC native and a dude that came from the streets. The stuff that they doing here, I'm gonna put it in 3 categories, okay? One category is gonna be immigration. They locking a bunch of immigration, undocumented people up. People in DC don't seem to be happy about that. The average DC resident don't seem to be happy about that. 60-some% of the DC residents that were polled in the Washington Post said that they don't feel safer and they don't agree with this takeover. But back to my point, the second thing that they doing is they've turned, not the National Guard. The National Guard is not marching up in the hoods in these trenches. You seeing the feds. He's basically turned all federal agencies into jump outs. That's what we call them here where I'm from. He done basically turned all the feds into jump outs. Now, they jumping out with AR-15s and suppressors and shit on his 60-round clips, 30-round clips. Some community people saying that is traumatizing. Shit go. Are short 800 police. They adding into the community, and I don't know how they're going to further use them because they saying that it's only for 30 days, although the Trump may try to extend it on his own without Congress permission. Maybe 2,000 National Guard will be here, 2,500 they say maybe. So as of yesterday or the day before, I don't recall, one of the days, it's all happening so fast, and they change the rules as they go. They move the goalposts from one side of the field to the field, but they said that they're gonna be armed now. National Guard